This bad boy can fit so many groceries in it. If you've been following my channel for the last while, you would know that there's really only one Subaru that I would buy if I were ever to sell the Spec B. And, well, I sold the Spec B, and this is the car that I bought. Now, before you guys go flacking me in the comments for selling the Spec B, saying it was a dumb decision and you're never going to see that car again, you're right, to an extent, and I'll get to that later. I've always really liked wagons. They just have a certain appeal to me, and the Foresters are awesome. They're basically long Imprezas, and they're so cool. You can fit so much stuff in there. I just fit a 50-inch TV in there for Black Friday. I could fit a ladder in there. I could fit my whole self in there, and you can do lots of other things in there, like extracurricular activities. So now that you've seen it, let's talk about it. This particular Forester is a 2004 Subaru Forester XT, which means it's a turbo. And it also has the same engine that is shared between the STI, the WRX, the Forester, the Legacy GT, and the Spec B. This particular car in question is totally stock. The only modification it has is a stock short shifter, and it came with this little shift knob. Here, let me show you. Now, I love aftermarket shift knobs as much as the next guy, but this thing, look at how small this is. Just says STI there on the top. This thing is tiny. I think this is a shift knob for ants. This was so uncomfortable to drive with that I immediately bought a new shift knob once I got the car. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are gonna give me a bunch of crap for getting a mom wagon. And I know these cars seem to be bought by a certain demographic of people, which I do not fall into, and I'm not gonna explain what it is. I'll let you guys look that up. And I'm not gonna sit here and try to win you guys over on the reason why I got this. These cars are awesome. They're Subarus. They get you anywhere. I'm on top of a mountain for freaking crying out loud. It goes anywhere, it does anything. It's pretty quick, and it looks good. Now, as far as future plans for this vehicle, that's where I'm kind of in the unknown. Usually when I come to you guys with the vehicle, I have plans for it and thoughts of what I'm going to do with it in the future. But this one, I don't know. I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know if I want to lift it up and make it a little bit more off-roady, or lower it and keep it as a street car. To be honest, there's one thing I miss a lot about an Impreza that I had a couple years ago. It was just a stock Impreza, but it had the ride height and ground clearance as a normal Subaru would, which means I could go places and I wouldn't have to worry about scraping every single place I went. With the Spec B, if I went somewhere that had a sharper driveway or incline, I'd have to go to diagonal and hope and pray that I don't scrape anything or break anything. With a car like this, I don't have to worry about that. I can go anywhere. I can drive all over stuff. It took me about 15 minutes to get up on this mountain, and it was a fun experience the whole time. I couldn't have done that with the Spec B or any other lowered car for that matter. And on the flip side, this looks great as a street car as well. These cars look really good when they're lowered and they have bigger wheels and more aggressive street tires. As for the things that I do know that I would like to do, I think I'm going to take you guys with me on everything that I do with this car. With it being a 2004, it definitely has some miles on it, and it's got a little bit of wear and tear. There's a few little things that need to be fixed, and I'm gonna make videos on every single one of those repairs. Just to name a few, that's called the door gussets. It's basically where the window rolls up into the door. Since the Subarus are borderless windows, they just roll up into the weather stripping at the top of the door. But there's a little piece of weather stripping at the front of the door called the door gusset that starts to open up over time and break because it's just like brittle rubber. That has torn, and when I'm on the freeway, it's freaking loud, and it drives me insane. So that is the first thing to be replaced. Secondly, this car is on WRX struts, which I don't know what the previous owner did, but he didn't do a very good job. So we're gonna go in there and check it out. They make some really bad creaking noises. Kind of worries me, especially coming up this mountain. It was making a lot of noise, and I really don't want to break anything. But that also leads me to, do I want to do coilovers? Do I want to get good struts and springs and lowering springs? Or do I want to lift it? Like, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see me do with this vehicle. I do have a truck that I can go off-road with, and I kind of bought this car just as a daily because it gets a little bit better gas mileage, it goes everywhere. I don't really have to worry about it too much, but I do like it, and I want to keep it looking nice to a point. I mean, you can't keep any vehicle nice when you're going off-road with it. Besides that, there really isn't too much wrong with this car. It's got a short shifter, like I said previously, that's actually really short. I think I'm going to get an extender for that. And then, other than that, I'm probably going to tint it with a darker shade of window tint. And probably get some rally light bars up in the front. I haven't decided if I want to get the big halogen ones or if I want to get a light bar itself. But again, let me know what you guys think. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room. I know you guys are wondering why I sold the Spec B. And to be honest, I want to live a little more within my means financially. Lately, I've been really getting into a little more financial freedom, and I'm sure if you guys have looked into that at all, you've come across the name of Dave Ramsey. I don't care if you like him or hate him. I just know that he has some good things. And one of the main things that he says in some of his talks is the biggest way for you to earn wealth is through your income. And you know, that sounds kind of dumb. Like, well, duh, how else are you going to get money? But like, if you really think about it, like, he's right. That is your biggest wealth builder, is your income. And I just couldn't do that with the Spec B, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate with. So I wanted to be able to get into a car that I didn't have to worry about, and didn't have to worry about payments, and something that I could, you know, own outright as my own. And that's what this Forester is. Don't get me wrong, the Spec B was a fantastic car, and it's actually with one of my close friends, so I can still see it and still drive it. And, you know, that's good enough for me. It was a great car, had a lot of power, and I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, but I think it's time to move on. And I think that's something that's really important that us as car guys, car girls, need to understand is, you know, when is it too much and when is it to make a change, make a big leap. And I'm really glad that I'm able to understand that and realize when it's the right time to make a change. With that being said, we are going to do some stuff to this car, and I'm going to keep you guys tuned in throughout the ride. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry I haven't been able to make any videos lately. It's been a crazy couple months for me, but I'm here now, and I really miss making videos, so I'm going to try my best to make good quality videos for you guys. Hopefully they're not too boring or repetitive or too much of me talking. If they are, just tell me shut up, and we'll get back into car stuff. But yeah, like I said, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Please like this video if you like it, and stay tuned to the next video. I'll see you then.